Hi, and welcome to probably the most surprising run of CC I've ever had. This is risk 25, Kuranta, obviously. Although this time it is actually horse because I don't need heavy rain, which is actually kind of unfortunate because I like using heavy rain. But anyway, just a little bit of backstory on what is going on here. I did 24 about 2 days ago. It was on stream. And then basically yesterday, my fellow partner in crime, Horsepowered, just messaged me in the middle of the day. It was like, do you want to watch me do his own 24? I was like, sure, I got nothing better to do. So I watched his 24 and he ended up getting it, which is cool. And it was a pretty different strategy to mine. Now he did upload it, so I suggest you go check that out because I am going to be referencing that a little bit in this because I took a bit of inspiration and there's a lot of things that I saw in that clear that I thought could probably be optimized, which ended up happening just somehow. It just kind of all falls into place. But the reason why this is my most surprising clear ever is because I attempted this for like an hour before I got it. And there is RNG in this run, unfortunately. But I got it after like an hour. It just somehow works. And I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't like when I cleared this, I didn't feel any like elation. I didn't feel any joy or anything. I was just confused. I was just baffled that it worked. But anyway, why don't we just get into it? So the difference between 25 and 24 is this risk here. Attack down. Attack down 1 is 24, attack down 2 is 25. This is Horsepowered's risk, by the way, because they take attack 3. I don't take attack 3, I'm pretty sure. I think I took attack up 2 and then I took something else. I don't remember what it was. I'm pretty sure I didn't take attack up 3 in my 24, but their strategy had so much more promise for 25, so I decided to take their risks instead because I think it was more achievable. But yeah, you can see the rest of these risks here. Pretty standard stuff. We can't take DP down 3, by the way, just so you know. Fang is just not good enough of a Vanguard to take DP down 3, unfortunately. Now, let me explain the squad here quickly before we go in. Unfortunately, I believe that this clear is pot gated. Unfortunately. Now, this platinum that I'm borrowing is not actually the problem. That this is a max platinum that I'm borrowing. I don't need a max platinum. I don't know what pot you need on platinum. You need at least pot 2 for the DP cost because we are taking the triple cost snipers, the triple cost sniper contract. And every DP you save from a potential is 3 DP you're saving because of the contract. I think you need at least pot 2 for platinum. I don't think you need the damage, and I'll get into that later because you'll see that she kills them with a lot of time to spare. I don't think you need the damage. But as for like other potentials, I think you need a pot 6 winner. And you definitely need pot 6 proviso. That is a yes, you absolutely need that. But I think you also need a P6 winner. Maybe you can get away with P5. I don't know how much damage his 4th and 5th potentials are actually contributing, but you need at least pot 2 for the DP cost. It might work in that scenario, but obviously I have a P6, so I didn't really think about that when I was going in. I was just running with it. I don't think you need Blemishine potential. You don't need Null's potential. You don't need Nalta's potential, but I think you need Munar. And it has to be specifically Munar, and we'll get into that in a moment. But we'll get into that. You'll see what I mean with the platinum thing. I borrowed this because I thought I needed it. I didn't. The other thing is that I don't need Heavy Rain and I don't need Meteor. Like I said, I did this in like an hour. And I just had the entire squad just there in case I needed them. And then I got a run where it worked and I didn't need either of them. So let's just go into it. and I'll explain these little things. So this opening is the opening that Horsepower taught me how to do on stream, where you deploy Granny first and then you deploy Fang. And I don't know how this works. Don't ask me. I actually don't know how this works. So let me explain. This is the first point of RNG. Is how many times does Granny hit this enemy? Because this enemy will dodge things when it's not being blocked. How many times does she hit it? If she hits it 3 times, this doesn't work. If she hits it 1 time, it doesn't work. If she hits it 0 times, it doesn't work. She needs to hit it 2 times. Actually, no. I think 1 time technically works, but it won't later on because you'll see. But I think she needs to hit it 2 times. I was getting that pretty often, so it's not that bad. You can see there twice, and then I deploy Fang on top, and then it's fine. Now Fang needs to dodge at least 1 of these attacks. I believe it's 1 out of 4. And she's dodging because of Granny's module and Granny's talent. It's 35% every time. You can see that she just dodged that one, so we're good to go. The reason why Granny needs to hit that thing twice is because it lines up the attack perfectly so that she kills this enemy. And why is it important that she kills this enemy? It's because she's a Charger Vanguard with the Charge X module, and she'll get 2 DP from this. And this is important. You can see here, 2. You activate Granny's skill to give her +1 block and a lot more attacks, so she'll kill things. I deploy Wildmane immediately. I know that it's a good run, basically. I don't pay attention to any of this, actually. I know it's a good run if this happens, and I can deploy Wildmane when this enemy is in this tile. If I deploy her here, then I know I can keep going. If I can't, then I just restart, because it's not good. You deploy Munar here, facing down. This is the main difference between this 25 and Horsepower's 24. If you've watched that, you'll know that Horsepower puts it Munar here, on this tile, facing up. And there's 2 good things about that. One is that you have way more time to kill the car that sits here, because you have, if Munar is here up, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tiles to hit the car. Additionally, the dock workers, you also have a bit more space, I think, because you have this tile 1, 2, 3, 4, and you also have these 2. Whereas with this one, I don't know if you have the same. You do have the same, but you also hit this tile, which can be blocked by Glimmershine, which we'll be placing later. The issue with that is the casters. The casters are basically I would argue they're the biggest problem in this one, because they screw over everything. These casters. The way that Horsepower was dealing with them was that they were deploying Meteor to kill them. And I'll get to that when we get to that moment. But as you can see, Meteor costs 30. And that's a lot of DP. And I wanted to try and get Meteor out of that role, if possible, because that's a lot of DP you're just wasting, in a sense. It works, that strategy works, but I knew that if I wanted to do 25, I needed to be like more efficient, in a sense, with my operators. So we're just going here. We retreat Granny immediately. That is important that it's immediate. We deploy Whislash for some extra damage. This is not actually for Whislash, it's just she does damage. The timing on the Wildmane is that she attacks once, and then you just activate the skill. I remove Zephyr when she hits this agate in this position. She's just gone. And then the timing on this Munar is very important. And this is why I say that you need a pot 6 Munar. This is why I say you need it. Which is here. You activate Munar's skill right now, when this dock worker is in between these 2 tiles. If you don't have pot 6 Munar, and you get him slightly later, I don't think this timing works, because the next Munar timing is extremely tight. Now, I think pot 2 Munar works. I'm pretty sure. I don't know about a no pot Munar though. I don't know if that will work or not. So you'll just have to experiment with it if you are watching this in the 2 days or something that you can do this. But we just go here. Wildmane will not kill either of these. That's okay. And then we just deploy No, and we deploy Glimmershine when we can. This is why I say the other pots are not necessary, because this is just like I don't need these guys down immediately. So we're just dealing damage here. This is pretty standard stuff. Just dealing damage, just dealing damage. Munar and Nerl can tank one of these casters indefinitely. They can tank one of them. If it's two of them, then they can't. But one of them is fine. And this caster will just die to Munar's Reflect talent over time. So that's fine. Now the timing for this up here is a bit weird. The Dockworkers lose a lot of HP when they're in the deep water zone, which I just created because I retreated Wildmane from this tile here. So, and I'm taking the left Dockworker risk, so they still take the same amount of damage. What I'm trying to do with Blemishine here is there's a lot of enemies here and she only blocks 2. I need to sleep both of these small guys. This one is about to die. There'll be another one, I'm pretty sure. But I need to sleep both of the small guys so that Blemishine blocks both of the Dockworkers. And the timing here is just when this Dockworker is about to step off into the water. It just happens to work. Blemishine's healing can just about keep up. You can see the first Dockworker died there, and with the second one will die in a moment, and this is fine. This is why we retreat Granny immediately, because I need her right now to kill this last small guy. This also nets me plus 2 DP because Granny will kill this. That is a little bit RNG, by the way. I got it pretty consistently, but that is technically RNG. Then we just deploy Proviso now. Now this is the last real point of RNG, which is the Proviso buff. Up until now, the RNG is pretty okay, and this one is also okay. It's only a 50-50 between Munar and Blemishine. It has to be on Munar, I think. I don't think you can keep running if it's Blemishine. It kind of falls apart later on if you don't have it on Munar. Especially with this car. This car timing is really awful. But yeah, so we're just going. The caster is dying. We activate Munar's skill immediately. This is why I say you need the pot. Because, you know, it just starts to compound. If you get 1-2 seconds late, then it's another 2 seconds, and 2 seconds, 2 seconds, 2 seconds. It just starts to add up. And this is what I mean. These two casters were being killed by Meteor in Horsepower 24. They put Meteor on this pontoon facing down, and then they kill these two casters. And, you know, they do things a little differently, so they have enough DP for that. Like, they don't have Proviso down right now. So they deploy Meteor here, but by doing it like this, you kind of consolidate the role of killing this car and killing these casters into one operator, which is Munar. And that saves you a ton of DP. And it means that you don't need Meteor, because Horsepower doesn't deploy Meteor again. Now, like I said, they can tank one of these casters, so it's okay that this thing doesn't die. We deploy Nolta here. Killing this Surfer dude is actually not important. It's actually damaging the Dockworker that's important. That last Agate will die to the deep water zone. So this is just happening. It doesn't matter that that Surfer died, but it's nice, I guess. Blemishine is not really doing anything. She's just clearing out those small peon enemies. So activate the skill whenever. I actually paused here for quite a while because I had the jitters and I was shaking it out of my arms. We're gonna deploy Whistlash here. Now, this is the point where I hate myself because I'm using the Whistlash shield from her module, and I hate that module so much because it has no business being as good as it is. But I'm gonna deploy Whistlash here. Whistlash does give the physical shield to herself, by the way. You can kind of see the little bubble around her. And it also gives one to Munar as well, because he's a Cassiope, obviously. But yeah, Whistlash will tank one of these hits from the Dockworker. She cannot tank the other one because you can see here she has only 700 HP, or 800. She only has 800 HP, she'll die, so I just wait for the animation to go all the way to the top. I retreat her. Deploy Platinum. You can see here, when I deploy Platinum, I have copious amounts of DP. I have 38. Now, if you don't have a lot of potentials, this will start to add up over time, and you may need at least like a pot 2 Platinum. You don't need pot 6 though. This is a pot 6 Platinum, you don't need that at all. It's not necessary. There's so much, you have so much space to do it. So I just deploy her here to charge her second skill. And then with this going on, this Munar time is actually a little different because I don't activate it immediately, I activate it now. And the reason why we activate that now, I'll just play the clip, it doesn't matter. The reason why we activate that now, keep in mind that the Whistlash shield actually let him survive there. is because by activating it slightly later, Munar will kill this diver, this second one. You can see here the skill is about to run out. He swings, dead, and then the skill is his skill is over. And this is also why I think you need the proviso buff on Munar, because I think he'll kill those in that case. The reason why we need to kill both of the divers is because they are not very long ranged, but they are ranged. So when they swim around here, they will attack proviso. And that's okay because Null is here, she's going to heal her. But there's a caster here as well. And the caster is going to be attacking Munar all the time because he has taunt. So if Null is trying to heal both of them, it's not going to work. I either need everything to be attacking Munar, or I need to kill everything except this caster. And obviously, you can't have everything attacking Munar, so I have to kill both of the divers. The timing works kind of nice if you just delay his skill a little bit. But we continue to go. Platinum will be killing pretty much all of these gates. She's just good at that. I might also say, this Platinum idea is not mine. This is Horsepower's idea to use Platinum to kill these. I didn't think paying like 30 something for Platinum was a good idea in my run, which is why I didn't, in my 24, which is why I didn't do it. But when I saw that it was actually possible to get that much DP, it's good because you don't have to really like commit anything, I guess. And Wildmane doesn't do a great job of killing them. She just kind of stalls them for a really long time, which is not great. And Proviso doesn't deal that much damage to her gates because they have like 60 something res, because there's a contract that gives extra res. So this is a good idea for Platinum, but it's not my idea, so credit where credit's due. Yeah, so we just keep going. Activate Munar's skill when it's literally off cooldown again, because that's just how this clear is. You just activate Munar's skill. We deploy Nalta to kill this car, and then Platinum will deal with the rest of the gates. This car will die. The rest of these enemies are getting hit. And I might say that this is the first time that I got to this spot. And you're gonna see me panic a little bit at the end there. You're gonna see me panic a little bit. But yeah, we got this going. I'm just gonna use Provisor to slow them down. These dockworkers will die to the deep water zone. Because I slow them. I retreat Platinum because I don't need her. But yeah, so these dockworkers will die. And then from here, it's literally one. Honestly, when most niches and when most clears get to this point, you've basically won. When you get to like here, once this car is dead, you've won. I don't know a single niche that's like actually scared of the last 4 enemies, because they just work. They're just to die, basically. You've kind of set everything up at this point. But yeah, we keep going. Now you don't need Wildmane here. This is the start of panic mode for me, where I deploy Wildmane because Wildmane can actually push this thing, push this enemy. It will interrupt its attacks every time she's pushing it. It's not necessary, but you know, it's useful to know, I guess. You can see it's happening right now. But this is where I deploy Heavy Rain, and this is where you don't need her because you'll see that she doesn't do anything. I missed the timing on the Blemisshine there, and that actually scared the life out of me. I will not lie. But I have my Nalta, so I just deploy Nalta. I deploy Whiplash first for the Nalta buff, but you know, it really doesn't matter. Heavy Rain does nothing. Meteor does nothing. You don't need both of them. And there's 25. There's 25. Like I said, when I finished this, I was just baffled. I was like, what? Like literally what? Like what happened? It was the first time I got to that like last wave, and then I just beat it. And I don't want to do this again because I don't want to use Heavy Rain. I don't want to do this again just to remove Heavy Rain and Meteor for the squad, because there's a lot of RNG that I'm not bothered to do right now. I'm not bothered to go around with. But yeah, unfortunately this is pot gated. I don't like doing clears that are pot gated because it's just like, you know, I'm a firm believer that pots like don't mean anything, but I mean, when it comes to CC, you gotta pull everything out. I guess you gotta pull all the stoppers out. But yeah, that is the most surprising Risk 25 I've ever done. The most surprising run of CC I've ever done. It just happened. Now you might ask, what's 26 then? 26 is impossible, I think. With that strategy, 26 is impossible. I can't see a reason how you could fit in an extra contract, because the only ones that are left are HP up, attack down, and DP down. DP down is impossible. Attack down is really awful because not only does it make it so that Munar and Platinum and Proviso are significantly less good at killing enemies, more important thing is that Fang and Granny opener is awful for RNG. It's so bad. And that is the thing that's really stopping me from trying to go any further, because that the RNG at the beginning is already tight enough. I don't want to have to roll even more RNG. It's lucky because it's at the beginning of the run, but I don't want to do that. I just don't want to do it. I don't even think it has merit. Like, I don't think Munar and like Nelta and Proviso Platinum, I don't think they have enough damage to like kill everything else, honestly. And both of the contracts that are left with the attack down and the HP up are directly addressing like that problem, I guess. Which is why I haven't taken them higher. That's why I haven't taken them higher. But yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna try in week 2. It kind of depends. I might try for some low-hanging fruit contracts if they're like really easy, for example, then yeah, I'll try it. But I don't think I'm going to go very hard in week 2 because this has taken a lot out of me. And I have other stuff that I want to do. But yeah. That's about it for this Risk 25. Thanks for watching, and keep in mind I'll probably be doing this for CC12 when that comes out, because I like doing this. I like talking about this kind of stuff. It's cool. But yeah, I'll see you around. And I love activating Munar's skill and activating Munar's